What's happening, good people? It's your man, Patrick, the Game Changer Jackson here, and we are back with another great episode. And of course, I got my crew that's going to be having these conversations with us. But before we get started, we have some free comedy tickets to give away. That's right, free comedy tickets to the CMAC Productions event that is happening March 15th. That's right, March 15th. It is going down March the 15th. At 7 p.m. the door will open and the event will start at 8 p.m. It's going to be at 7900 Downing Avenue. That's right. That will be next week. So y'all make sure y'all get tapped in. We get free tickets that we can give away to you. We do have a winner that will be receiving 2 free tickets. We'll be giving away some more on Sunday as well for you guys to be able to tap into that. But it's going to always be a funny event. It's always a great time for people to come out. If you like to laugh, I like to laugh. I know if you like to laugh, you're going to have a fantastic time. I am not going to an event that has not been good. The atmosphere is great. The people that there are great. And it's always about not just the comedian, but also the atmosphere of the people that come. So it's always a good time. It's always a good time. So the winner of those tickets is Miss Christine that has won the first set of tickets. If you want to win some more tickets, make sure that you get locked in and enjoy the show. Make sure you go ahead and like and share. Go ahead and make sure y'all getting those comments if you want to win some free tickets to the comedy show that is happening March the 15th. It is going down. Man, it's always a great production with C-Max puts it on. It is going to be a phenomenal event. So if you want to attend, make sure that you go ahead and tap in, get in the comments, go ahead and like, and make sure that you subscribe to the channels. We appreciate y'all tuning in and checking us out. We are going to have a great conversation that's going to come up. We're going to be talking about some stuff with Trump that is happening. We're going to be talking about Angie Stone and her death. We'll be talking a little bit about some of the controversial thing that happened with Halle Berry that's been hot in the conversations right now. And then we will talk about some of the things that happened on Pop the Balloon. So y'all stay tuned, stay locked in, get involved in the conversation. We appreciate y'all every time you do. We'll be right back. What's happening, good people? And of course, I got some good people that's coming on with me. Got some cousins here with me, hanging out with your boy, Patrick the Game Changer Jackson. Come on, introduce yourself, Monty and T, as we go through this conversation.
Hello, everybody. It's Monty C. Wilson in the house.
Hi, everybody. I'm T. Hi, everybody. I'm T. Franklin. It's a pleasure to join the panel tonight.
Yeah. And guess what? We're going to have a good conversation and discussion. We're going to kick things off really quick. Make sure, again, that if you want to win some of those free comedy tickets, make sure that you go ahead and like, go ahead and share. Make sure that you get in the comments and chop it up with us. If you're just tuning in, just say hello. Say hello. Say hi. Say hi to your cousins out here, man. We're about to just have a cool, collective, funny conversation. Of course, these conversations are always a great way for us to discuss sometimes some tough topics. And we kind of try to bring a little bit of fun and comicalness to it, just so you can digest it just a little bit easier. Because some of these conversations are not as easy, but then some of them are a little bit funny as well. So, and some of y'all be bugging me out in the comments too. Y'all be super hilarious. So keep that rolling as well. So, but the first thing we're going to talk about on tonight is the Trump administration, and I think this is going to be a ongoing conversation. The Trump administration and what's going on with that, and what has happened with Ukraine and Russia. This whole war that is happening between them, and there was a very interesting and very intriguing conversation that took place during that time, dealing with between Trump, Zelenskyy, and the vice president as well. So it kind of got a little bit testy in that, the conversation.
We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States.
Back up. Let me expand that back out. My bad. Pull up. There we go.
His actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014 and 2014.
2014?
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
Very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the.
I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna play the rest of it here in a moment. But, Batia, do you want to go first before I give my take on how this is being played out?
Well, obviously he was attempting to say we've tried diplomacy, we've given them a lot already. So he's basically saying, what makes you think this is going to be any different if we signed all these treaties and different things from them before, and he just invaded us anyway? That's what he was trying to say, which is a valid question. But when you're talking to somebody who just gonna loud talk you and try to put you in your place and embarrass you, then it's a different story. You know what I mean? Because and the thing is, Vance is smart enough to know what he was getting at, and he knew he couldn't really answer that question. And so what they're doing to me right here, they're trying to disguise that they're in bed with Russia with, oh, we just trying to be, use diplomacy. You see what I'm saying? Now, everybody else in the past, whenever they tried to work a deal with Russia, they were seen as being, not American, not strong enough, and they weak and blah, 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 blah. Now they coming to do it. Now they trying to make it seem like, we're the smart ones. That's what I'm reading from this, that they just totally flip the switch, and whatever they do is right. What's the saying? Whenever I do it, it's wrong. Whatever you do it, it's right, or whatever that is.
Just flip
That's
it.
what I see. I just see them they're totally in bed with them. They're trying to lift sanctions. They're trying to give these people a break, and they're trying to make it seem like, oh, we're so smart and everybody else is dumb. That's what they're doing.
You want to take a stab at it too?
I agree. Well, I'm going to sit back and follow my sisters who didn't vote for Trump and not waste the brain cell wondering why this meeting was so unprofessional and such an embarrassment to the American people. I'm going to let you take it, Patrick.
Okay. Definitely a very interesting conversation. There was a couple of key points that stood out to me. One was how, I guess the position of the meeting, of what was the purpose of the meeting, and the way that Trump and Vance kind of set it up for him to respond in a certain way. And then that was kind of really avoiding the real question at hand. And I think he got baited into, or he put himself kind of in a position to where he was almost trying to, once he started going and saying like we was going to feel something, or we were going to feel the ripple effect of those decisions. Now you really put them in a power position to where now they look like the heroes of standing up for the American people. Like, you can't come and say that these things were going to happen to American people. So now it makes Trump and Vance look like they're, really stepping up to the guy, which he is in a vulnerable position. And I think one of the things that they were requiring was like, and I think they'll say that here in a little bit in the video, which was him coming there not in a suit, respecting the office, respecting our office, but they try to feel like he's trying to placate to the American public for the money. So it's like we're providing this money for their country, right? The protections and all that type of stuff. And so his question, his response of wanting to know, hey, are you guys going to do anything about anything that's happening? And he said just about every administration hasn't done it, anything, whether they were Republican or Democrat. But ultimately there was some support, but there hasn't been like a major whole initial stoppage because of the relationship and the tension that could occur between Russia and America. And so that conversation is like he's coming in and wanting us to almost be there saving it. Some of the other conversations that have happened, I'll point out really quick, which is they're asking for a lot of this money, but then a lot of people are like, man, we shouldn't be giving them all this money because you see a lot of their focuses on yachts. A lot of their politicians are doing the same thing that our politicians and stuff is doing. And it's like, you know, you guys are still living lavishly and all this other type of stuff while your country is perishing. And it's like, what you using, we're still paying for those things for your country. Because if we're giving you money for that, then, you know, that money's going towards your vacation, the lavish gifts and stuff your wife and stuff is getting, and all of your staff and stuff is the way that the lifestyle that they're living. So there's a lot of pushback from that perspective of continuing to funnel money into that too.
So are you gonna let it play a little bit further, or are we gonna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't been
in this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards.
Thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look. If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to
Okay, this is
the
time.
Vice President. I'm sorry.
That was hard for me to watch.
Me too.
That brought up memories of some of the most toxic women I've ever dated in my life. When you just having a normal conversation and you just trying to, and they just throwing in zingers from all different directions, not to fix the conversation or fix whatever's going on, not to come up with an agreement. They're just trying to score points, just trying to hold you off. This is like one of those type of things where somebody is like, they know that you're right, and they don't want to be proven wrong so bad that they will say and do whatever they possibly can to hold you off. So you never get to your point. Your point is so valid that they know it's valid. They'll never let you get to it. That's what that was right there. That was a toxic conversation. They brought up stuff like, you out of the middle of nowhere, you came out here and campaigned for the opposition. Like, what does that got to do with anything? I mean, that just shows you what kind of like level of childness is going on in this administration right there.
Way too much.
To bring that up right there.
Yeah.
Then they're acting like he invaded the country. He act like his country got invaded. They sitting next to the man whose country got invaded. They wasn't trying to go to war with nobody, and acting like he's at fault. Like you need to shut up because because you're doing all this and that and other wrong. And then and then Putin's claimed that they was going to have that war over in 3 days, and still not over, because guess what? Russia is not as strong as they claim to be. That's the problem. They cannot even take out a small country like the Ukraine, and now they're sitting up here acting like they're big, and Trump acting like they're big and bad. You better watch out, and you better this and this and that. You see how dude wanted to. You see he wanted to say some stuff, and he really didn't. He held back. He held back because he knew, like, he wanted to say, "What are you talking about? We've been holding these people off for years, and we're a little small country. Like, what is he talking? That was just plain toxic waste."
Yeah,
because that part. Yeah, go ahead.
Say, just quickly, it was like trying to have a conversation with a narcissist male, where you walk into the lion's den. I got you, Monty. I wanted to flip it, since this is he said, she said. So there was gaslighting. He needed to say thank you. He definitely walked into his agenda.
Yeah.
He walked into their agenda. This was performatory. It looked like I was watching another musical or a play. I was waiting for the song. It's like Hamilton, because they definitely practiced this.
And I saw something that said that he is on record for apologizing 99 times. Somebody has counted. He's apologized 99 times.
Oh,
not
really?
Apologized. He has said thank you.
Thank you. Said thank you. Okay.
He said thank you 99. He has said thank you 99 times.
Woo.
But you notice Vance said during this conversation.
Yeah,
really,
he did put out
he
during this
said you
conversation.
didn't say, because Vance knows that that's a little dirty trick. He knows that the man has said thank you, but then he changed it to during this conversation you haven't.
Right, he tried to flip the conversation to make
said
it
in the hallway 20 times, but then when you come in here, you ain't said it in here.
Yeah,
you ain't said it in here, so it don't even count, man. You ain't said it when the camera was rolling. Right. So we need to hear you. We need to hear you say thank you, and that's just that's the posture too of them really trying to show who's the big dog. Almost trying to have them garble and really plead for it. I mean, of course, being thankful and all of that in the conversation, but he was trying to get some answers at the same time. And, you get caught up in that piece of the conversation, and it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to get the response that you're wanting when somebody just continue to hit you with all these different subtopics and, but there's no time to respond to it, right? It's not a debate conversation when you're there for one thing and then you're getting hit with all these other things as well. And so the conversation is never really going to be over. But I think you pointed out a good segment that I think hasn't really been talked about in how Russia isn't as strong as it kind of try to show itself to be. But they did need our military equipment. They had the manpower. They just didn't have our military equipment, which helped them in the long term. But they've been holding, like you said, they've been holding them off for a long time. And, you should be able to. I'm sure if America goes to war with them, that wouldn't be a long war, right? But sometimes it's just when it's not as easy when you continue to have the opposition, when you're trying to, defeat and then occupy. Because if you just go in there and you just trying to, beat them up and blow them up real quick, you're trying to take over territory. You don't know what they got, how many other people and all that type of stuff. And war is always, a tricky thing when you're trying to, because I believe that's where their position is. They're trying to occupy. They're trying to, take over and make it part of them. So, that's a whole different ball game than trying to just go and bomb somebody and get on out the way.
Yeah. And they're doing it the old school way. You know what I mean? They're trying to just go and take something. You know what I mean? They're not
Right.
trying to like lure them in with opportunities and money or anything like that. They're just saying, look, we're gonna do it like the Vikings did it 100,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like the Barney Rubble and Flintstone and Fred used to do
We're coming in there
with a club. We're gonna come in with a club and take it.
Hit you with the people's elbow real quick. Get on up out of there. They up close and personal.
Yeah.
But you know, Trump and his whole crony, you know, with the whole crew and all them, it wasn't nothing but a pissing match that looked like to me. It was just a whole pitching match and them trying to showcase who they were and their posture. And you don't have the cards. You ain't got the cards. You ain't got the cards to be doing none of this. Yeah. You ain't got the cards. That's all he was doing, was talking about the cards and what you know. It was a whole posture thing to me, man. Like that was crazy. That was crazy.
They look like gangsters. Like gangsters, you know?
It'd be like that.
Pretty Tony and all that. Right.
Pretty Tony. What you know about Pretty Tony?
I know something about Pretty Tony.
Okay.
You know a little something?
I know a little something.
A little something?
Thought what happened to Pretty Tony at the end.
I know, yeah.
Didn't turn out right. Mm-mm. Didn't turn out well for Pretty Tony.
It didn't turn out right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also, we're going to be talking about the lovely Angie Stone and, you know, her recent untimely demise that she had. So it's definitely sad that she recently passed in a car accident, and we are you know, saddened by that. A very sad occurrence, very sad occurrence that she passed away in a car accident. Now, she was in a car accident with I believe 9 people altogether in the vehicle that occurred, and when that occurred, and so she was the only one that passed away. This situation did hit home a little bit close. I have a uncle, my mom's best friend, James. He's a guitarist for her. Went on tour with her many years, about 17 years, I believe. He's been touring with Angie, and so they're very close, extremely close, like family. She treats everybody on that band like family. And you know, prayers for the families, prayers for everybody that was involved in that, and it being close to, you know, my loved ones and family. And we have our little James. So my Uncle James, which is Big James, he was flying to the location that they were heading to for the tour. And then his son, Little James, was actually one of the people that was in the vehicle with her. And so he's doing better. You know, he's not in like critical condition or nothing, but he definitely continue to need prayer as well. But, you know, definitely a legend. You know, if you got a favorite Angie Stone song, drop it in the comments. She was definitely a legend of many proportions. She's done so many great hits. Y'all got a hit that y'all like from Angie?
I do. No more rain in this cloud. No more rain in this cloud.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
So now y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
hit it T.
It's like, no. My sunshine has gone and I'm all burned out. And there's no more rain in this cloud.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story about Angie Stone? I actually met her. Yeah, I actually met her when I worked in corporate America for an advertising agency, and I was on the team that put together her Fearless campaign. So she had done an album, and she had just come back and she was trying to make an impact and reach a younger audience. And so they hired our advertising team, and I worked with her on that campaign. I actually talked to her. I had her phone number, and I actually used to enjoy having conversations with her. She is really a down home girl. I asked her about D'Angelo. I told her my husband loved D'Angelo, and she said, "Girl, he ain't nothing." Well, she said something. She was like, "That ain't." So she will be missed. She was such a sweet person. This was a while. I won't say how long ago because I don't want to tell my age, but I was right out of college. So this was a younger Angie Stone. So just imagine her younger, faster, more fearless. So she definitely will be missed.
That's what's up. What about you, Monty? You an Angie fan? Got a song or
you know what? I like a lot of her songs. I just don't know any of the titles. I do recognize the one that she attempted to sing a little while ago. It took a second, but I did recognize it. That she has a lot of good songs, and she had a very, very soulful voices. She came around that neo soul era, where a lot of those groups and stuff like that, they hit the ground or hit the world by storm or whatever. So and I remember seeing her on a couple of reality shows and different things like that. So yeah, she definitely will be missed.
Definitely. Now she, one of the things that she did, what was that show? The show Girlfriends. She sang the intro to that.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, and she was telling the story. I remember her telling the story of how they were changing the arrangement of the intro of the song, and when she did the run, because the little girlfriend, when they did that little thing, she'd do this run in the beginning. I can't even try to mimic it at all. And she was saying when they were doing the rearrangements during the episode, they was watching the ratings, and when they changed the arrangement, it went up. And then when they thought it was like, oh, we're gonna change it back, and then the ratings went down. And then when they put it back, the ratings went back up. And they were like, well, we gonna keep it like this. And they were coming back to her to do the different arrangements, and she was like, she said she never thought that like just the intro of a song of a show would make that much of an impact on the actual show. And I started to think about like how the power show, when 50 decided to bring, he had the intro that he was always using, and then he changed it to Trey Songz. I mean, somebody else was singing a different intro. He had changed it like I think a couple seasons, like 3 seasons in, and everybody was complaining. And then he ended up changing it back because I was like, dang, it's just the beginning of the show. So everybody
right.
So it does make I didn't even think about it until making that connection with how fans determine just the beginning of the show how much of a difference that can make. But my favorite song that she had was what was it? Black Brother, Strong Brother.
Right.
I forgot about that one.
That's probably my favorite right there.
Yeah, that one. When she came up with that, man, I was like, listen, Angie, come on now.
Yes.
I'm about to hop on your old self now. Come on now.
She like him young. D'Angelo's younger than her.
Yeah, he sure is.
She had a baby by him.
Yep, she sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited about that song. Like that one was like a hit that, and the timing in which she made it, and then like the video pictures, it was just so empowering to me for a woman with her, especially she has a phenomenal voice, to be able to come up with a song that could empower us as men. Like, and every time I would hear that song, it was like one of my, it has always been one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's my favorite right there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But when you were talking about the intros, just imagine if you was watching something like Sanford and Son or
Yep.
Good Times or the Jeffersons, and all of a
I
sudden
know all of them.
they changed the song.
Yep.
Think about
Right.
how like it would completely throw you off. It would completely throw
Right.
you off. So these shows, I mean, I can't put them on that level, but you see what I'm saying. It could throw you all the way off if you were into the show like that. I mean, those shows back then had theme songs that were had a lot of lyrics and they were long too. It
Yeah.
wasn't like just a quick thing. Like the song, it was like they did a whole minute or so of the song, might have even more than that. So the theme songs back in the day were a lot more important. That was
Mhm.
part of the whole show. That was the whole show. So yeah, but just imagine that if they changed the theme song that and they just put in a whole new beat.
Mm.
They
You
throw a
be
trap
like,
beat on
man, what
there.
the hell is this? Oh no, man, turn that off. You turn it off. They
Now,
tripping.
Angie Stone, she there's been some conspiracy thing that have come around with that. With this is a video that we're gonna play really quick of her talking about the money that she was owed and all this. There was a video she did in December, of course, by her being the only individual that passed um in the vehicle out of the 9. There's conspiracies and all that type of stuff come out of nowhere, right?
Of course. No, they don't
You
come
know
out of
that.
nowhere.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
come
they
right
they
on time.
Where they come from, Auntie? Where they
Coming
come
out of
from?
nowhere, and that insinuates that, ooh, we shocked that came. No, we knew it was coming.
Yeah, so this is a video of her kind of stating some of the controversy she was having with her music catalog and money that she's owed and things like that. So, and this was played. This happened. This was recent in December, so just a couple months ago. So let's see what she has to say.
End of the day, after 40 something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there's several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs, all the songs that I've done. I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. People that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I'm truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people I have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem?
Wow. Now that was Miss Angie Stone there. Wow.
Yeah. It's called show business for a reason, because there's the show and then there's the business. And we have to learn as people how to put on our show, but also take care of business ourselves. Because like she said, she had that team, but if they're not putting it in her name, then she's not getting any of the royalties. I was just thinking about Terrence Howard, the movie that they did when he did his heart, like it's hard out here for a pimp. Remember that?
Mhm.
I forgot the movie. They didn't get paid for that.
Hustle and Flow.
Thank you. Hustle and Flow. It won an Oscar. And so, you know, Terrence Howard should have gotten a lot of money for that. But they had him written down as the rapper, not Terrence Howard. So the rapper got the money. And guess who the rapper was associated with or connected to?
The character.
The studio. The studio owned the rapper. So the studio got all the residuals for that song. So we just have to, artists, if we have any artists in the audience, make sure that you're learning the business. Go to the library, do all you can to learn the business side of the show. The show is fun and you can get out there and people see you and notice you. But if you broke, what is, you know what I mean? Like, you don't, I know you want to do it for money, not because you love it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The part that I don't understand about the Terrence Howard situation was that movie came out about 19 years ago, something like that. And he came out and said that about, you know, oh man, they did me wrong and da-da-da-da. What, about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe? I don't know how long it was. It was not that long ago. He didn't know that at the time. Like it took him 16, 17 years to figure out that he wasn't making no money on that song. That's just, he knew trust me, when you go into the studio and record a song, you know at the time, your people know at the time what they signed you up as and what they put you down as. And he knew a few months later that he wasn't making no money on that song. It didn't take him 17 years to figure out he wasn't making no money on that song. So I don't understand why he came out and did that whole media tour like that, but trying to pretend like he was just shocked and appalled that he wasn't making no money on that song. Like 16 years that went by. Seriously.
Yeah. I think he recently retired. I think I heard from acting and then he went back in. So the industry is very fickle and they talk. And so you want to, like I'm saying, you know, you have to know the business, but you also, it's a delicate walk that you have to take if you want to work again, because then you'll be labeled as a troublemaker. Yeah. You know, when you're just trying to handle your business, get your money, get the bag, you're labeled as a troublemaker. And they really, really do think, just get out there and sing, just get out there and act, just dribble the ball. Don't worry about this. We got it. And so that's where we make a mistake. I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did, especially since my daughter is in the business. I do know enough to know you have to know the business. But I do also know enough to know sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut until the opportunity arises, because you won't work again.
Well, yeah, I think that's what keeps people in most situations, right? It's the business side of it. You can be quiet, and I think Taraji is one of the people that have come out about, you know, women pay and people of color pay, with her being at the top, right? She's one of we deem her as one of our top actresses in the game. So in the skill of art is always about what you negotiate. And I believe even when the Terrence Howard situation, it's just knowing the business side of it. And even with Angie's situation, you signed over with someone to trust them to do their due diligence and do their job, but you have to trust and then verify. Right. So that's what I always, you know, build things like trust, but also verify. You're hiring somebody to do something, just verify what they do and what they say what they're supposed to be doing, right? And then you could even get someone to do you know, some background on some other thing that you can hire someone else, you know, later on, make sure that those things are buttoned up as well. And so when they go into these situations like a Terrence Howard, I remember he was talking about Hustle and Flow, and he was saying he was broke, he didn't have no money, and I think he did the movie for like, I think $5,000-$10,000,
right? And then he had to pay his agent or something like that.
Yeah, so he was really doing it to like really pay rent. And of course, none of them know when they're in this business, and Monty could attest to this, him being very intricate involved in it. They don't really know what movie gonna pop, right? Like especially when it's a low budget film or something, you don't know if that movie is gonna blow up. So they do a lot of these different movies like this, that they'll do a movie for 10,000, 20,000 or something like that, and they'll go in and shoot it for like 3 or 4 days and then be done, and they'll make that money. But then, all of a sudden that movie end up making millions of dollars. Then it's kind of like sometimes some people could, share the wealth. But if that's the contract you sign, that's the contract you sign, right? Yeah. Like, you can't complain on the back end if the studio is wanting to create a shared profit. Because I know that's something that I remember Morgan Freeman was saying that he would do with a lot of movies, that he'll do a shared profit situation, to where he'll go in, he'll take a little bit, but then he will, want to be a part of the actual film profits. He wants to take the money on the back end. And so if you're willing to take all your money up on the front end and not take the risk, right? Because the studio's taking the risk, the producers are taking the risk and they're investing all this money into multiple films and trying to see if this thing gonna pop off. And so if they're paying you and everybody else to do this thing, you just got to know what you got to negotiate.
Yeah.
If you don't negotiate it, then you coming back on the back end like, oh man, that movie then blew up.
Yeah. And another aspect of that is that there's been people who, let's say you were doing the lower budget stuff, and then you do one bigger budget movie, and that movie does really well, right? Now everybody telling you are a $5-10 million man or woman. So now you sitting around, you turning down a bunch of stuff, you turning down a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden the phone stops ringing.
Yep.
And you stuck because now you're like, well, I can't do this small stuff no more. That's below me or whatever.
That's below me.
And now you don't have anything. You know what I mean? And now and then either you at some point try to jump back on the bandwagon and start doing the smaller stuff, or you just stuck forever, not doing anything. Now your name done died down and nobody wants you. I mean, it's a slippery slope. It's a thin line to walk. But it can be tough. I can see a lot of people falling for those traps.
And then you can't go backwards, right? Because now you got all this big staff, and then now you have these requirements of what you got to make. And so instead of just trimming those people off so you can rebuild, you try to keep it. And then now you say that you got to pay this person, and then you ain't making no money. But you didn't have those people when you first started off. So, now those people have become a staple that you want to always keep. But then sometimes you have to ride the wave, just like any other business. You have to make cuts. You have to make adjustments according to what's going on in the market. And I think most people, those pivots be a problem. I remember that was an issue with people that were like doing real estate and stuff. And they were it was back when the boom had happened. And they were real estate agents, and then like they were I think they were on Oprah or some show, and it was telling them about how to just manage their money, like cut certain things off. And they'll tell them like, oh, you can go from this high-end BMW to some Toyota or something like that. And they're like, oh, I can't do that. This is that. Yeah. So once you start to try to downgrade, it'd be hard for some people once you become this high level individual, and that cutback be tough.
Yeah. Same thing with athletes too. I mean, you can get that big old house on that huge land, and then once you retire, even if you have some money put away, now all of a sudden, some of these homes have property. The property tax
be crazy.
It's hundreds of $1,000s a year.
Yeah.
Property tax be crazy.
Yeah, you can't even afford to pay the property taxes all of a sudden. Now you got to sell, and sometimes you might have did a bunch of crazy stuff and bought something custom and put a bunch of crazy paintings and toilets and tile and then that stuff is outdated or it's too personalized for you, and you can't sell the home for nowhere near.
And nobody trying to get it.
Because even that home that Michael Jordan had a home that's set for a long time. Right. And I saw photos of that house, and people were saying that it was too personalized and all that. I didn't even think it was that personalized, to be honest.
I didn't think it was either. I thought that, you know, the front got the 23 and all that type of stuff on it, but throughout the house,
on the wall, on the gate, whatever, right?
Yeah, the gate out, but throughout the house, you didn't see too much. You saw some emblems and stuff throughout it, but you know, his Jumpman stuff. But it wasn't nothing that you could easily like. Yeah.
But they were trying to say that was too personalized. And nowadays, too, these people with a lot of money, they want to, you know, not everyone are fixer-uppers. So they want to move into a house that's already ready to go.
Yeah.
They don't have the vision to say, oh, well, all we got to do is slap some paint and some new flooring, and that's another house. You know, they don't want to have that vision. They want it to be ready. And then, you know, you have some people that just, you know, things go out of style real quick. You know what I mean? In a year or two, they like, oh, what? White cabinets? You know what I mean? It's that type of stuff. I've seen different people on these. I used to watch House Hunters all the time, and I used to see people do that. House would look nice, and they would come in there and just rip it apart like, oh, no, no. And then the husband be wanting, no, let's get this house. This is the one we need because it's cheap. Right. And the wife was like, no.
We're not buying House Hunters. I used to watch that. I love that show.
Yeah. A
friend of mine, shoot it down.
Friend of mine produces for House Hunters, so she's one of the people that you want to ever be on House Hunters, let me know.
Okay. It might not be in Bakersfield, but
it don't matter. House Hunters is everywhere.
They go everywhere.
Yeah, they don't do it. I don't think she's ever produced a show in Bakersfield.
Okay.
They're all over they're all over the country, in Canada, all kind of places.
Let me write that down.
But yeah, you gotta that money, man. You gotta once it starts. My fireplace.
Then went away.
My fireplace is went out. I gotta go start it back up. But yeah, you gotta be careful with that money. You gotta be careful with that money. You always gotta think ahead. That's all you gotta do.
You do. You gotta think ahead, man. Like you gotta think way ahead. Like if it's the pivot be the main thing, man. Like that'd be tough. Like it'd be tough to kind of get that the mindset of the pivot once you gotta get used to a certain thing and you're not, you know, projecting like, hey, I may have to, you know, get rid of this or start over. Yeah, like just completely start over. It's so hard for most people. That I don't care what level you're on. It's kind of hard.
On some level you can mess that up on no matter what level you on.
Yeah, no matter what level you on. No matter, you know, you could be a multi-millionaire or a 10,000-aire. Like, you know,
you could be on assistance and still mess it up.
Man.
Like,
you know,
those probably the ones that got the worst, you know, financial what do you call it, responsibilities or whatever. They may know the least amount about taking care of bills and paying things on time and stuff like that. I mean, I think I'm just a cautious person. So if I was to just go out and get that huge, I don't know if I would go get that huge house on a lot of land or whatever. I think I would get something. I would get something nice, but it don't have to be huge. You know, I would be thinking about, okay, what if this happens and that happens? Can I still maintain this? I would think about that. And let's say if I was a NFL player or whatever, and I knew my years was coming up, I would probably be thinking about downsizing. Like soon as my contract is up, I would downsize immediately. From whatever I was in. So if I was in let's say if I was in a $10 million home or something like that, I was making that big money. I could go down to, you can go down to a $1.5 million home and still be really, you know, rolling pretty nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not on that land, crazy big amount of land. Maybe you go get something in a gated community or something like a 1.5 million in a gated community, and you would be, you know,
could be pretty easy.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Brody said it's easier to pivot when you're a millionaire, though.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know, because it depends on how you spending it. Like you could be saying that you're a millionaire, like the money could have been coming in as a millionaire. That means you've accumulated a whole lot more debt. So if you're in a position where you got to pivot as a quote unquote millionaire, that means you still got more millions coming in. So you could maintain that lifestyle. When you have to pivot, meaning that you have more expenses than you do money that's coming in now, and you haven't been able to adjust. So have you been having that $10 million home and you're holding on to it, right? The problem is that it's hard for you to pivot. You hold, like how you just gave that example. You holding on to it. So you draining everything else. You draining out all that money that you've been making, trying to hold on to it or trying to get to that next pivot. Then now that's why you end up like the Antoine Walkers and all those guys. They made millions, but the reluctancy to be able to do that pivot, like you stated, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down, but I'm holding on to all the cars. I'm still taking care of everybody. I'm still paying all these, these high property taxes and all this stuff. You trying to maintain it when that money, you're a millionaire, but that money is getting drained out quicker and quicker and quicker.
We've heard a lot of stories of people like that living check to check.
Yeah.
With them big contracts, literally.
You still living check to check.
Literally living check to check. And
trying to keep up appearances.
If you watch Ocho and Shannon's show, they'll tell you stories all the time about people who had to come back during the off season and get loans from the get an advancement from the team because they didn't even have enough money to last them through the off season. Think
to
about
get to the next season.
Wow.
They didn't have enough money to last through the off season. So those people aren't putting no money into any type of investments and sort. I mean, look at Magic Johnson. That's probably the biggest example we can find because they didn't make a whole lot of money. I remember when Magic Johnson was making like $1 million a year, and maybe then it was like $3 million. It was like, whoa, big deal. He's making $3 million a year, and look how he flipped that into this huge, amount of money that he has now, these millions. Michael Jordan made decent money, a lot more than Magic did, but then he had to shoot things or whatever like that. But so it was a little bit easier for him because it was just kind of like that shoe empire was just there. But I forgot what it is. I forget his name. It's another guy, and he owns like 100 businesses. He didn't make a whole lot of money. Shaq made a lot of money, but Shaq, purchased a lot of companies. He's still holding on.
Yeah,
there's some people that just didn't do anything. They had the entourage, they had the big cars, the big rings, the big chains, the big women. I mean, no, he had a lot of women. They had all
what
the
was
women.
What was big on the women, Monty? What was big on the women?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I know if it was me, what would be. I know it.
Man, what was that? It was a recent basketball player, man, and his wife. I get because he was a basketball player. He made money, and he's in that same situation where all the money's kind of gone. She's still there, but she was like,
the one that was on OnlyFans and all that.
Yeah, she on OnlyFans, and Cameron was talking about you gonna go get a thing from her and stuff.
I was thinking about that earlier, but I couldn't think of who it was. It was somebody.
I forgot the dude's name. I think his last name was Johnson. I forgot his name, but he was one of the one.
It was somebody well known though. Like I'm trying to think. I just don't even remember who it was. I can't even picture his face, but it was somebody we know.
Yeah. It definitely was.
I think some of that was a publicity stunt, but
I thought it was too because I think she got a lot of subscribers.
Yeah. She had like 15 minutes of fame. She had a nice little run right there for
they get paid on their OnlyFans.
Yeah. Who was that? I can't even remember who that was. As soon as you say it, we're gonna know who it is.
Joe Smith.
Yeah. Joe Smith. That's who it was.
Joe Smith. Joe Smith was a baller.
He made
good money.
Yeah, he made decent money. Yeah.
Yep, he made pretty good money. Cause they're saying that he made $61 million in his basketball career.
Okay.
And so
he was before those super big contracts.
Yeah,
he made decent money though.
Shoot, that's still, man. Shoot.
Because what did Magic make over his entire career? looked at it.
He had got some on the back end
Towards the
when
end,
the Lakers gave him towards the end of his career.
Towards the end, he did get paid, but it still
Yeah,
was like nothing compared to
I
what
think it was like 20 million or something.
Yeah.
But
that was when the contracts they got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yo, I need to make some more money."
But Magic's career was cut short,
right?
So that's somebody who didn't have a chance to plan. Think about that, and he still came out. Well,
he got 40 million
over his career. Okay, so he made 40 over his career, and got cut short out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, and he still was able to invest and make some big deals, and now is mega rich.
And that was he had did a unique contract back then, which what people were saying, right? That he had did a 25-year, $1 million contract. So he was still getting paid from the Lakers $1 million a year, all the way up until 2010.
Okay, kind of like what's his name in baseball? What was his name? He still get that $1 million every year on the 10th of whatever month that is. Bobby Bonilla.
Oh, Bobby, yeah.
Bobby Bonilla still get that money, yeah.
Yeah, he was getting that.
Like that too.
He ended up getting that, they were like, yeah, we want you to make sure that you get money long term, right? So they took care of him long term. He was getting that $1 million coming in every year.
Wow.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty good. Brandon said big woman.
Big cars, big women. They all go together. As soon as you get them big cars, them big women just show right up.
They show up, but they got to be able to fit in them because they, can't be in them lifts. Can't be in them small lift cars. Brandon said, hey, she making money. I'll set up the camera for only fans. Get her water and everything.
Hey, Brandon, go ahead on. Let me go ahead and subscribe to that OnlyFans and let us know what it's looking like. I think it's probably only like $10 a month, something like that. It's nothing to a player.
Nothing to a player from the Himalayas. Now, talking about that, we're going to talk about this kiss that occurred. I'm going to pull it up. We're going to try to make it a little bit bigger so y'all can see it. Here that happened. Let me see. Yeah. It was a encounter between Halle Berry and Adrian Brody. They did the movie. I think it was Monster Ball, right? I think that was the movie. Was it Monster Ball?
That sounds about right.
You mean back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he was in Monsters Ball?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Look it up.
No, that was.
She, Brody has a significant other.
That was Billy Bob Thornton in Monsters Ball.
Yeah, that was Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, okay. I don't be knowing.
She was when the original one happened. She was presenting to him.
That's right. It was at the Oscars.
Yeah, and he came up on stage. She was presenting, and she kissed him the first time.
Yeah, and so this time they're on the red carpet, and this is what happened.
Sorry, Georgina, but I gotta
Oh my God!
Last Oscar moment ever! I'm sorry, Georgina, but I gotta
He said, I'm sorry, I gotta do it.
Sorry, I gotta do it. That was a week.
Oscar moment ever!
That was weak for as far as getting permission is concerned.
Now look at that face on her face. That was like, she don't look too pleased.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying? If you're a confident, I'm gonna speak for the women. If you're a confident woman, why would you care if Halle Berry was kissing your man on his lips in front of the whole world? Like, why would you care? If you're confident.
Right. She's recreating the moment. I see nothing wrong with this.
It's only Halle Berry.
Yeah, she's just recreating the moment from the last Oscars.
Yeah.
From the first kiss.
Do you mean to tell me I got two black people? I got two black people on here saying that this is okay.
I'm being sarcastic. You got because it's only Halle Berry. You know what I'm saying? If you're a confident woman,
he wanted me to say something about that.
Why would you let somebody just be mad at a little something like that?
So women could just see you married. So just a woman, she could just come up and just kiss him and
Let me tell you know. If this did not happen the first time, it would be a serious problem. But it happened the first time. And it was playful. And she even turned and said, "Hey, I gotta do it. And this is an Oscar moment." I thought it was cute.
So somebody okay, T, I'm gonna play on what you saying.
Now you're gonna get somebody messed up in Bakersfield popping up.
No, I'm gonna play on what you said. So he had a childhood friend, and they had a little, thing that happened by the tree at a school, and they had a little moment where they had the little heart drawn on the tree, and they had a little kiss, and then she just came up and reenacted that moment. Says because that ain't the first time it happened. There's gonna be another time. So since that happened before, you'll be like, "Oh, that was cute." They were just reenacting when they was younger, and they was by the tree. So you'll be cool with that.
I mean, for one, this is Halle. He's not Denzel or somebody like that. Like the two scenarios don't match.
See.
Okay, let's say she pop up. Let's say that this young girl.
So a star can do it. That's what you're trying to say.
You know what's interesting? This did kind of happen to me, and I'll tell you what happened. So yeah. So back in high school, there was a girl who really liked him a lot. And so, he had to make some choices, and he chose me. But we did see her years later at the airport, and she gave him a hug and went in to kiss him on the cheek. And he was turning around to say something, and they did lock lips.
He just had to say something at that moment, huh?
Right?
He turned into the kiss.
She was cute too. She was cute. She was one of them big girls that you talked about earlier, Monty. Big in those areas. He turned, and he said he was turning to say something, but boom, they locked lips. Now,
were you there?
Yeah, I was right there. We were at the airport.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you know how you see somebody and it's like, "Oh, hey," and it was like, "Who? Wait, she looks so familiar. Oh my God, that's the old girl from high school." So I said, "Oh, that's the girl that the airplane ride was interesting." I was like, that's the girl that used to like you." And then he pulled the, "What do you mean? I didn't even know she used to like me."
I believe him.
Do that.
I believe him.
We don't be knowing.
He didn't know.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Yeah, you don't know.
Many people liked us and we didn't know.
But I told him.
When?
You told him back in the day?
I didn't know about it back in the day. I learned about it as senior year. I learned, I think she may have, I can't remember. She might have mentioned it. Like, "Oh, you would have been me, or that would have been me."
No, that's nothing. Might have mentioned and all that. Yeah. That's nothing. They didn't have nothing. They didn't have anything.
Yeah,
they had a kiss. They had a little kiss at the airport. So, but I was
talking about back in the day. They didn't have anything.
No,
didn't have anything back in the day.
No. So to answer your question, yes, I was a little taken aback. I will say that. But I don't see anything.
What do you mean taken aback? Quantify that. You got upset. You was mad. You didn't talk to him on the whole trip. What happened? What happened?
So on the flight, yes, I did the silent treatment. Like, I don't believe you. Because he was like, I didn't mean to give her a kiss. I just turned and she was right there. And I said, well, she meant to kiss you. And he's like, I didn't know. You do know. Look, even my shirt's coming. Look, I'm coming apart here.
Nah. He's innocent.
Okay, so on the plane, I asked, and he's like, no, seriously, I didn't even know she liked me. And I told him, yeah, she used to like you in high school. He's like, I didn't know. If I knew, I would never even have hugged her or gone in to say hello. So, I was like, okay.
I believe him.
But I did give him the silent treatment.
Okay.
Why you get the silent treatment?
Now I feel bad. Huh? What is the silent treatment?
Yeah, but why did he got the silent treatment? Because of the kiss, or because you're saying that you felt that he was acting like he didn't remember that she liked him?
I just felt like it was way too intimate for a hello from a person that you don't know used to like you. I felt like he was kind of being a little extra. Like, oh yeah, girl, and give I know you want to kiss me. Here's the kiss. Now you get to.
So what was her reaction when she was able to get to his lips? And what was her reaction?
It was so quick, and she, you know what? She looked surprised, like, "Oops, I didn't mean it." And she looked at me like, "I didn't mean to do that." And I looked at her like, "Yes, you did, girl."
So y'all, no word was said. It was just looks.
It was just like this. So that's why I said, okay, I had this kind of incident where you just kind of, you look and it's like, oh, hey, bye. It was good seeing you. And she was like, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to,
Okay, so I can tell you, now you made me think of some incidents that I had. When I was married, my ex used to be the kind of person that if a woman walked up to me, I don't care if it was my cousin, I don't care who it was, and said anything to me, right? She was tripping, right? She was just flat out tripping, way overboard. Like I mean, I was to the point to where I would just walk around and I didn't even I see somebody I knew, I was just like, please don't come over here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, don't even come over here because it wasn't even worth my, me. And what pissed me off even worse is that she would treat me like that, would flip the hell out, but then if we went somewhere and she knew some people, she running towards people. Oh my God, hi John, and just hugging everybody. Just and I could never get her to make the connection that was hypocritical. You know what I mean? Like, you look at how you treat me, yet you're hugging all these men, and I didn't care that she was hugging these men like that. I just saw it as a friendly hug. But it came an issue when she treated me the exact opposite. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't even say hi to somebody, but yet she could go over here and hug all these men and kiss them on the cheek. Now, I really didn't care, but it was like one of those type of things that, like, I had to pretend like I cared just to make it even. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
to make it, try to even it out.
Right. I had to pretend like it, but it's if it would have been a situation like this where somebody walked up and just gave me a kiss, then that would be that I don't even know how that would have came out. And there's another story that I can tell you that I'm not going to go into, that where a woman did do some wild stuff, and it was funny that she didn't even notice. And I still to this day, I don't know how she didn't notice this woman was doing all this crazy stuff.
What did she do?
Wild stuff like what? Like the woman
touch your hand, like hug you from behind, like what?
The woman was coming on to me, and my ex was just, for some sort of reason, like, didn't even notice it. Like, it was, I don't know how she didn't notice. The woman was purposely being disrespectful. I don't know who this person was. That was the first time I saw her. That was the last time I saw her. And
that sounds like a setup.
It felt like a setup. It was so crazy that I'm still to this day wondering, like, what was up with that person. Like, it was weird. It was strange. Yeah. Like, she started dancing in front of me and shaking her, just not shake. She wasn't twerking. It wasn't twerking back then, but she was shaking and dancing all sexy in front of me and stuff. And I was sitting there like, like, please get out of here. And then my ex didn't notice that. And then later they almost got into it because the girl started to do some stuff like, because I had like a little booth at a hair show, and she put her shoes up on our table or whatever. And next thing I know, I was up there videotaping, and somebody came and got me, said they were about to fight. And I went over there, and the girl tried to run up under me. It was weird. and
Oh,
she never
wow.
said any. She never even said
Whoa.
anything about her trying to run up under me.
Oh, wow.
She tried to literally run up under me. Like the girl ran and got underneath my arm like this as soon as I walked over there. And I was like,
Whoa.
pushed her out the way. And I like I put this on everything. I don't know that woman, never seen her before in my life. Never seen her since. But it
That's
felt like a
probably
setup.
why can I add something? That's probably why she didn't care, because she knew that you didn't know that woman. But when women approach you in public, she has no idea what that relationship is. And so that may have made her a little insecure
How did she
about
know
who
I didn't
these
know
women
that
are.
woman? No,
You just said you didn't know that woman.
I know,
What?
but she didn't know. It didn't matter.
Oh, we
I'm telling you.
know. We know.
There's
We
been
know
plenty of women
everything.
that I didn't know that she was flipped out of. She was flipping out over women that I didn't know. Like we could be in another city or another state, and she would flip out on if a woman walked too close to me. So it wasn't that. I some kind of way she wasn't paying attention. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I'm bewildered. And it's funny. The person that it was somebody that was with her, right? And to this day, we all know who this person is. And I want to ask this person, was she that person that was with her? I'm not sure, but I think I'm not gonna say her name. You know her, Patrick. I think that she was the woman that was with her. I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just one day I'm gonna ask her, like, hey, do you remember this incident?
Oh,
I want to
man.
ask her, did she remember this incident? Because I think she was the person with her.
Wow.
That was with her during the incident.
With her during the incident, yeah. And with her during the time that she ran under my arm when they was getting ready to fight and all that.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I think that's who I remember this person being.
And
every time I
you
see
still
her, I
didn't.
was like, was that you?
And you still didn't. Oh, so what? During this entire time, you just decided not to ask that question?
Yeah, because I'm not 100% sure that it's her, and I don't know her that well. I know her a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know her a little bit, but I don't know her that well. Once I tell you who it is, you'll laugh. Because I'm like, I think you was the person that was with that chick that did that crazy, that crazy move that day. But my point is,
and you haven't seen the friend,
the one that did the ran up under
that
me.
ran
No,
up
I haven't
under.
seen
Yeah.
it. I've not seen it. That was the first time I've ever seen her, and that was the last time I've ever seen her.
Oh, wow.
That's why it was so strange. Yeah, that's why it was so strange. If it was somebody that I had some history with or something like that, then I kind of would be like, I would get it that she was just trying to be, act up or whatever, or somebody I knew or something. She was jealous of something, but I have no idea who this person was.
Hey guys, can I add something here? I got a text from Tony, from Anthony. He said, "Leave my lips out this show." Ha 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 ha. Wait, and then
hey, we had your back, bro. We had your back.
Yeah, he's watching. He said, "You look nice on this show. I'm going back to sleep. Love you." That's so funny. Thank you, Anthony.
We appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you tuning in.
From now on, I'll just do hypotheticals. It won't be about me and Tony.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do no hypotheticals.
Keep his lips. You ain't gonna be able to help it. We always gonna bring out, it's gonna end up coming. It's gonna come out.
Yeah. Keep my lips off this show.
you can't tell stories because since you said y'all been together for so long, you can't tell stories and us be like, okay, who is she talking about? We're gonna know who you talking about.
Right.
See, me, I can say long time
ago. Y'all been together a long time.
Yeah, well, I can say a few years ago, I can say a long time ago, I can say whatever, and you'd be like, okay, well, it's gonna fall. It's a lot of time in between, before, after, whatever. That I could be talking about anybody.
True.
Yeah, Monty and I, we got blotches in our timelines.
Right. Yeah.
Your timeline is strong. You got
what they say? You
got a strong timeline. You got.
Remember when they say you got what did it say? Dead spots in your resume.
Yeah,
hey, now what was you doing between?
Right.
What were you doing between these years? You wasn't. There's no.
So She got a 30-year resume. She been at the same job for 30 years. She is dedicated worker.
It's different. So you might have to be. You might not be able to say much at all on here.
Y'all got jokes.
Yeah, hey, listen, your resume is look a lot better than me and Monty. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You hired before us. You go get hired before us.
Yeah, we got
what's so
holes in our
interesting?
resumes.
Y'all got holes in. You know what's so interesting for people who are interested in knowing about, like, when you're in a relationship with somebody that you've known since you were younger, you do always wonder if you've missed out on anything. That's a big thing that I think about. Like, did I miss anything?
No, you ain't missed out on nothing.
Feel kind of like you are like fell behind, like you're kind of slow, like everybody else moved around and had an opportunity to kind of be free and express themselves. And you kind of feel like, I hope I'm all right and I didn't miss out on anything.
And all those people you talking about somewhere miserable as hell. Okay,
Facts.
They done moved around, they did all that. Somewhere lonely.
they trying to go on a cruise. They trying to go to on a girls trip and get their back knocked out. That's what they trying to do.
Jazz festival. Is that the jazz festival crew?
See that? That's what they trying to do. All of them. They trying to. It's a miserable life. It's a miserable life.
Right.
Yeah, y'all ain't missing out on nothing. That's what Tia Murray found out. She was lucky. I'm gonna read up on another show, but her and her. No, they got together.
They got back together.
Yeah, that fool went back. But yeah.
Wait, why you gotta be a fool?
I said I was gonna wait to talk about it.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it next week.
Yeah.
Let's do it next time.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, he went back. He didn't.
You do that.
Yeah, he didn't went back with her, so he didn't mess the whole thing up. You know
why? His acting jobs dried up. He thought he was about to hit it.
He was cool with her the whole time. No, he was cool with her the whole time.
Oh, wait. Yeah, right. That's what I mean. They got a divorce once he started being booked in all those films.
No, it wasn't.
He was about to blow
No, he wasn't.
I'll have the info when you bring it.
He wasn't getting booked until after they got divorced. He got the big film and stuff with Tyler Perry when they was not together.
It was something.
He made the most money when he was single. He's made the most money.
Yeah,
single.
He did say that. He did say that.
He said that.
He said that was his biggest payday.
I'll look it up for next time.
His biggest payday was the last movie he just did. And he was single. Yeah. So he's doing a whole lot better now than he was when they were together.
Why do you think he got back?
That wasn't a great
because she was miserable. I don't know why he went back to her, because she was miserable because she did a whole campaign about their divorce. She was trying to do videos. She tried to go on dates with dudes, and they were low lives and all this other type of stuff. She thought she was about to be this big fish out here and get us, like she was missing out on something. And she found out ain't nothing out here.
Well, I mean, she didn't seem like the type though too that wanted to be out there like that though. You know what I'm saying? Because she could still be out on the street just running amok. And if that's what she
thought she could get better. That was the problem.
No, she didn't even try long enough.
See, you got a tolerance though. You see what I'm saying? Once you start, No, Monty, you got to read between the lines, Monty. She put out there that she's single, so she letting people know, come get me. And she's a public figure. She's very popular on social media. So she would think the other celebrities and the other people that she thought that she was going to be able to attract, that she was going to be able to get them. She said, I'm about to, they was coming.
We're not disagreeing. My point is that she wasn't out there that long. It's not like she just waited 10 years.
She was, bro.
Happened. She was. It wasn't that long.
It's been about 3-4 years.
Like 2 years.
It's about been like 3 or 4 years. It was before the pandemic.
regardless of that, my point is she wasn't the type of person who wanted to be just out there alone for that long. That's my point.
Right.
That's what I said. That's what I said. She didn't want to be out there alone like that, running the streets, going on dates. The dates that she did go on, that she was just like, I'm not for this. I'm not for this life. That's what her problem was.
Right, because once you start doing that, you talk about 3 or 4 years, you find out she getting older, right? You're out here older. You seeing these
still look good. I still take it.
No, she don't look that good.
People still take it.
Nah, she don't look that good. She don't look.
Please,
bro.
Listen,
she all right.
No, she not. We're talking.
Pull her up.
I'm not saying she don't look good. I'm not saying she don't look good. Yeah. She don't look that good. Not for the upper echelon that she thought she was gonna be catching, is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between you looking good and you over here acting like you Rihanna looking good and you about to just Tiana Taylor she single. Just as good as you ain't Tiana Taylor single. That there's a difference. There's level to this thing.
Tiana Taylor.
No, she don't. Or
Tiana Taylor. No, Tiana.
Y'all,
bro, you gotta look at. Okay,
a little weird. Like I don't know. She got some. I'm not.
So the guy, she with the guy that everybody with all the ladies been this Mufasa fella, the new hot looking brother that's on the scene. Aaron, that women. Yeah, she with him now.
Yeah,
that's because Well, okay, what's the point?
The point is she was able to pull within the repertoire that Tia can't pull. There's levels to it, bro. There's levels.
No, that's true.
Okay, well, I know that Taylor comes.
So you think that Tia would have been, she would be still on the scene if she was able to pull guys like that?
I'm telling you, based on her personality, based on the interviews that I saw, all I'm saying is she wasn't the type of person that wanted to be out there running around in the streets. That's all I'm saying.
You ain't lit, Monty. Tiana Taylor just got.
Listen, regardless of what you're saying, we talking about apples and oranges here. We talking about two different points. I don't care what she looked like. I don't care if she looked like a booger wolf. She did not want to be out there in the streets. I can tell by her interviews. That part was the part that
I know, but she was in the streets for 4 years.
Huh?
She was in the streets for 4 years. I'm saying there's a time frame.
She could continue to be in the streets.
No, she couldn't.
If she was the type of person who want to be out there in the streets.
No, but you're saying somebody that want to be out there in the streets. I don't think we're not disagreeing that she don't want to be out there in the streets. I don't think Tiana Taylor, none of them want to be out there in the streets. They're looking for a man. Her goal, no, but I'm saying our conversation isn't about her wanting to be out there in the streets. We're not disagreeing on that.
My conversation is that you keep telling me that I'm wrong. I'm saying is she didn't want to. I could tell by her personality that she was not going to be out there being single in the streets for that long. That's all I'm saying.
She was going to be single in the street for that long if old dude didn't take her back.
Patrick is saying the streets didn't want her. That the streets.
Okay. Right.
No. The streets wanted her. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the streets wanted her. That was her problem. She wasn't able to get the upper echelons that she was wanting. They didn't want her.
None of this. You don't know what that.
She would have got him. She would have. She said it herself. She said the dating pool is dry. The guys aren't coming. She's saying this on her videos.
But the dating pool might be dry. But my point is to say that she can't pull nothing that's worthy of upper echelon and all that. We don't know that.
Thank you, Miss Jefferson. I appreciate you. You know, but she did.
I don't want to go to.
Regardless of what my point and your point can run parallel. All I'm saying is she not the type of person who wanted to be single for that long. That's all I'm saying. Why does that have to take away from what you're saying?
It's not. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Then that's it.
No, I'm saying in addition to, the time that she was single, she wasn't able to capture what she was wanting.
Correct.
So, and I'm saying Teyana Taylor was in the single realm in a shorter period of time than her, and she was able to capture what she was wanting.
Yeah, and they right. People like that get together. They publicists get together and they put them two people together like that.
Yeah, they do that. They do that all the time.
Nobody's gonna be talking about them. Now, T, tell them, T. People put them people together like that. That happens all the time. Them Hollywood.
Man, people fall in love, Monty. Don't do that.
Man, they ain't gonna be.
It does.
Man, that's love.
Another 30 years.
Don't try to kill Mufasa love.
Let's be honest, though. Tiana Taylor.
You falling for the hype, brother. That's
that Mufasa love.
Also, Tiana Taylor also comes with other things. Other things that she doesn't come with. Tiana Taylor is a different woman. We're like comparing apples to oranges here. When you get a Tiana Taylor, you get everything. She has some things that she's into that maybe he's into. We don't know.
Right. She's conservative. Oh, girl, T is very conservative.
Right.
She's not gonna go out and trying to run around trying to grab somebody like that.
Well, why
grab somebody like what?
Aaron Pierre.
She didn't want to date that dude.
How you know?
How you know, Monty?
Well, I'm on here guessing just like Patrick is. Okay.
How you know?
You don't want to date that.
I'm stating facts. I'm stating facts.
Only thing I disagree with you is you basically saying that she ugly. Basically, she can't pull nothing.
I didn't say she was ugly. I didn't say she was ugly.
You said she was ugly, Patrick.
No, I didn't.
You said don't nobody want her.
The word ugly did not come out of my mouth.
You didn't say it, but you described it very well.
Right.
No, I didn't.
She ain't no.
I said she don't look. I said she don't look as good as for the upper echelon of what we're talking about. There's levels to it. Why we acting like?
But there's different kind of upper echelons too.
Listen.
There's different kind
of.
There's some men that would never date Tiana Taylor though. Right? Am I right? Am I wrong?
What that got to do? And there's a whole lot of men that would.
There's some people that would knock Tiana Taylor out of the way to get to her, and there's some people that knock her out the way to get to Tiana.
But they ain't knock her out the way because they ain't got her. She ain't got none of them. She ain't want none of them.
She's a good girl. It's like apples and oranges. Tiana Taylor's the best.
You don't know what she is.
Right, that's two different people.
Everything about her says that. You can tell. You guys
You don't know what she is.
Kind of woman. What kind of woman a woman is. She's different from Tiana Taylor.
I'm gonna tell you, see, y'all gotta break this. See, y'all gotta look at their profiles and stuff. Now, Tiana Taylor and Tia is two totally different people. We can say that Tia is conservative, but she's an attention seeking person. Because Tiana Taylor automatically has it. She's just doing it's easy and flow. She's not doing it to crave the attention. She just automatically is gonna get it based off of what she does. Tia does things
because she's hot right now. Old girl is a has-been trying to hang on. Tia has been trying to hang on. There's two people in different spots of their career.
But what I'm saying is that once you start to try to do something that's outside your element, right? She's trying to do things to get attention because she's not. And it's not something that she would want to normally do, but she is craving the attention. So
like being sexy.
Just doing stuff on social media and stuff, I
saw that.
Yeah, come on now, T. Now she there's a difference though, right? From what you are automatically are already doing, and then you're a person that's trying to crave attention from people. And those it's like the Steph Curry's wife, right? She over here talking about Steph Curry telling you pretty and you ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. You got to get social media to tell you that you sexy and you get it, and all that type of stuff. Like it's weird. Some people just naturally are gonna have that. And then other people are craving that attention. And Tia just one of them people that just crave the attention. And Tiana, she ain't gotta fight for it.
And your point is?
And I'm saying she ain't all that. That's my point. She ain't all that.
Yeah, okay.
She found that out. That was the thing. She found that out. When you find that out, it came into her mind. Man, I ain't what I thought. My hot this level was gonna be. I thought I was gonna say, "Hey, I'm divorced. I'm available. I'm looking. I'm seeking, and I want a great man." And then all of a sudden, she seen that whole pond is dried up, and it's little fishy just out there just flopping that she got to eat.
I can agree with that. It is a dry pond out there
for her.
But it's a dry pond for a lot of people.
Now, for her, it ain't a dry one for Tiana. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay. And I can pick out somebody too. It's some hood rats on the east side that the pond ain't dried up for. Is they better than Tia?
It depends if it's dried up if they're trying to get a certain caliber guy.
Cracking got a 4-5 on her team.
But if it depends on the type of guy that she wants, though. So if she's a chick that's over there and she's trying to get, if her goal is to get the guy that's the CEO of Chevron, then I'm gonna say the pond is dried up. Just because you got 5 pookies don't mean nothing.
Hey, the pond is dried up for everybody.
So
that's all I'm saying.
It ain't dry for Tiana Taylor. That's all I'm saying. She didn't pull Mufasa. Okay, she didn't pull Mufasa.
Right, yeah. We don't know. Yeah, let's see how long she keeps.
Let's see how long it lasts.
It might not last that long.
Matter of fact,
she might not want it.
Mufasa may not even have a job next year.
He might not. He on a classic movie though, so he'll be okay.
No, I'm just saying he might be a one-hit wonder. He might be.
No, he had about 3 or 4 movies. He got about 3 or 4 movies.
White around the mouth, looking for something strange for some change somewhere in a year from now. We don't know. You type of hyping this dude up, man. Come on.
Trying to stay relevant. That's true. Is he trying to stay relevant?
Of course, he's trying to stay relevant. This is a world of everybody trying to stay relevant, and the social media is set up for people like that. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, she's trying to stay relevant. Yeah. So what? That's the world we live in today.
If she didn't want to be out there, she would have stayed with hubby. But we don't know why they divorced. We don't know what happened.
We do know.
I don't even know who.
I think she wanted
divorced.
to be. She wanted to test the waters.
She wanted the divorce. She said that,
and she found out that it wasn't.
And she apologized. Yeah, she apologized and was like, "Yo, I didn't think I shouldn't have done that." Like, yeah, she was awesome.
But my point is, people can say, okay, here's the thing. Look at me. Okay, I got divorced. It's been like, I don't know how many years, 15, 14 years later. I didn't get married again. Okay.
Okay, what that mean?
Because I'm for the streets. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm good out here.
Monty, do you think you'll ever consider getting married again?
In the streets and be all right. I don't need none of that. She did.
Do you think you'll get married again?
She was the type of, huh?
Do you think you'll get married again? Do you think you'll ever get married again?
Oh, that nigga ain't never get married.
He said he for the street. Did you say you for the streets? I don't want to miss.
I'm saying
what did you just say about the streets?
Okay. I'm okay. She's not. That's my only point is that she went out there and she felt like, okay, I didn't find nothing, like Patrick said. Now let's work this out.
Yeah.
But me, I wasn't gonna work nothing. I wasn't gonna be no working nothing. I didn't go out there and be like, oh man, there's nothing out here and blah blah blah. I could say the same thing. It's dried up for me too, but I'm okay.
Nah, that's a lie.
I'm okay jumping from puddle to puddle to puddle. You know what I'm saying?
But there's a difference though.
I know, but you can't keep jumping from puddles.
I ain't gonna let you. I ain't gonna let you do that.
The women.
I ain't gonna let you do that.
Don't leave heartache.
I ain't gonna let you do that.
The puddle can keep drying up all it won't. It's gonna be another drop somewhere that I can find. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna let you do that because you're lying. First of all, it's by choice. See, there's a difference between when you're seeking and you want. Like Tia, she's seeking and wanting. You ain't seeking and wanting.
But that's what I'm
saying.
There's
a difference.
She's not the kind of person. She's not like me. Okay?
Right.
She's the type of person who felt like, but all I'm saying is she could have stayed out there and just been fine. She wasn't that type of person. She needed that, so she got back with her husband because she needed that. But she could have stayed out there.
But there's a major difference that you leaving out. You're no longer in that relationship, and then you're saying, if you're gonna compare the two, you would be saying, I've gone out here and I'm in these streets and I have not been able to find anything better than what I had. Is that what you trying to say? Is that what you trying to say? Is that what you trying to say?
No.
Okay, then. That's what you ain't in her same predicament. She went out here in these streets and she couldn't find nothing that was close to what she had.
We don't know that.
We do know that.
We don't know what every move she made. Come on now.
Listen,
I don't even remember all the moves I made. And
she couldn't find it, man.
It was there. I was there and I don't
remember. What's so
Couldn't
interesting that I just noticed? So she's out in the streets looking, Monty's out in the streets enjoying the pedals. That's maybe what the dynamics that they keep running into. She'll never find anybody. If
there we go. She kept running into Monty's.
She kept running into Monty's.
She kept running into Monty's.
Nah.
Yes.
Hey, she'd have ran into me.
I bet you it's more.
He ain't ready to settle down.
Yeah,
she was running to God that was okay. Want to enjoy you. He did. Right. He ain't trying to take that life serious. Like, let's just enjoy each other. And she like, no, I'm trying to, let's speed this thing up. I'm old, you know.
And nothing is wrong with that either. Nothing is wrong with being in the streets and being who Monty said he enjoys being. Nothing's wrong with her. But here's the thing that I really want to ask. What do you do in that situation? Most men might be like Monty. What are single women doing?
Oh my!
Uh-oh. You just dating because no, I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that. We brought it up, so we just named it the Monty, and I'll name it something else. So if there's a guy that's in just like he said, who is enjoying his freedom, right? So a young lady comes out, she's fresh in the streets, and she wants a relationship. Please, I need the single women to tell me. What are you doing out here when there is a person, most men may be going from person to person to person when it's just for a season? I'm sure women are not out here dating for a season. They're dating for marriage. They're dating to be with somebody. That clock is ticking. They want to settle down. Monty is very charismatic. You know, he can talk well. He said he was a good texter.
Can I clear something up, please?
Monty want to redeem himself. Let Monty redeem himself. Come on. Okay, let Monty redeem himself.
I just want to clear something up. I'm not saying that I don't want a relationship. Okay, I'm not saying that. I've been in relationships since my divorce. Mm-hmm. I want to say, long term, like 4. Long term. Okay. But I think in her particular case is that she probably was not healed from that marriage either. You see what I'm saying? So anybody who's been dating like that, who've been married like that, then all of a sudden they go into this brand new dating world is totally different than before they, entered it, got it, from years ago, before when they was last single. It's going to be a shock to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So luckily, I got divorced when I was like 40 or whatever. So like that, like if I was getting divorced now in my age, in my 50s, it would be like, I don't even know how to even, it would be crazy. So it's tougher now, obviously, but I think that's what it was, that she wasn't healed from oh boy. She wasn't healed. So when she went out on these dates or whatever, she probably was nitpicking and looking at things that she probably shouldn't have been looking at, and just nothing felt right to her. I guarantee you that. Now, as far as me particular, don't call it a Monty, because I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say that when I said I was jumping from pond to pond, I'm not saying that I was leaping. I'm saying is when the pond dried up, I did move on. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna take whatever, the first thing coming, and that's gonna be my wife. Because I know people just be like, I'm looking for a wife. And they just out there and they find somebody. 2 weeks later, next thing you know, they talking about they getting married. I mean, that's not gonna be me. Mm-hmm. Like, I have standards. and I have things I'm not gonna put up with.
That's usually not men. Women usually go out and they fall in love and they decide that that's going to be their husband.
Yeah, I can fall in love. I can fall in love next week, and I'll be back on here talking about y'all. Hey, look, man, I'm getting married. I done found me a wife. I can do that.
But why do boys sound like that? Why they sound like that when they say?
That's how them old dudes be sounding like. I'm gonna find me a wife.
Find me a wife.
And they literally go out and find a wife.
Yeah.
And how does that work? How you just go? I mean, I've seen people just say, I'm about to go find. I need to find me. I'm looking for a wife, and they'll go to a church. You see them, they'll show up at the church. This dude dressed all sharp or whatever, talking about he visiting. He there looking for a wife. He really is. Well, and if he don't see nothing there, he go to a different church.
Husband. Yeah, women.
So what's wrong with that, Monty? What's wrong with a person looking for a wife?
For a husband.
What you gonna? If you seek, you're gonna find. That's all I'm saying. I mean, are you finding something that's really right for you? Or are you just finding somebody who want to marry you? That's my point.
No, if he's that.
Well, I mean, if he's being intentional with that, he's going to look right. He got to, and I say these things to ladies all the time. Especially if you're trying to find a guy, you got to put yourself in surroundings and places that you typically may not go in or go to, and try to be around guys that you would want to guys could try to approach you. So if you're not in certain areas, how is guys gonna ever know who you are and stuff like that? And so if a guy is looking for a wife, he's going to the church or going to certain places to find one. If that's his intent, then he that person is moving with intention and trying to court someone
to find a wife with some money, a house, a car, and a pension.
Well, that could be the case. You said a person has standards, right? You said you got standards. That could be that person's standard.
Is that how you're supposed to find a woman of your dreams? Is that going to be
if that's his choice?
Is that a marriage made in heaven right there? Somebody just looking for I don't really care what she look like, as long as she got a house, she got a pension, she got a car, and the kids is moved out, then I'll take it.
That's his standard. Because the lady, she could have certain standards too, right? She could say, he got to make a certain amount of money. He got to be, look this way. He got to, he can't have, more than one kid, or what I mean. They can have whatever criteria, and then like those guys, they're looking for guys kind of in that same way, or they're checking guys off the list that may, have that.
Yeah, but I'm saying is if I was had that type of mindset, I could find a wife within a week. Seriously.
Yeah, most men can.
Go out and just be like, hey, well, you know what? That person right there look like that. You know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop. She got this, that, and the other going on, and that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me right there.
That's what I'm saying.
But that don't mean I'm right for her. That don't mean she right for me.
No, women would love that. That is exactly. Thank you, Monty. That's what I was saying.
See,
women,
Monty
single women.
I'm
he missed it. You made the point, and it went right over your own head.
No, what you're missing is that there ain't no love there. That's my point.
The love come later, man.
That's what there ain't no love there.
It develops.
Love develops, brother.
If it's love, it's not. If it's love like that fast, that is not.
That's infatuation.
Yeah, that's infatuation, and that's love bombing. If your heart is fluttering and you feel like I'm so in love, this is my husband, the first 2 weeks he has love bombed you, manipulated you, gaslit you, and he may be a narcissist.
That's what I just said. What y'all think I've been talking about the last 5 minutes?
I'm telling you.
But you're talking about love bombing, but you was talking about standards of what a person criteria that a person would like. That's before an interaction.
No, I'm talking about I picked that person because of that. I went up there and told her everything she needed to hear, and next thing you know, she's head over heels, and we get married. That's what I'm saying. I'm just the person that she just described. I didn't really care for her. I just wanted her stuff. I just wanted that image. That's not right.
But you're So
okay, she understands. Now you get what I'm saying, T, right?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
That's what my point.
So you're putting in the box of somebody saying that they're looking for a wife only in that criteria if that person is so a person can have those same criterias and not be going in it with a manipulation piece. That could just be their criteria.
I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that's manipulation. Like, yeah, they basically went to go find something and they just both found somebody who been looking for a husband, and she gonna be like, I just been blessed with a husband.
Right.
This man just popped out of nowhere. The Lord just provided this man for me, and boom, there he is. He got on a nice suit. He got his only suit, and he got that, and that's what he's saying.
So let me ask you this, then, Monty. Okay, we take that scenario. What is his end goal at that? So he get her, they get married. What's the end goal now?
His end goal is to be married and to live, that they live happily ever after. But my point is, they don't really know each other.
So what's the problem?
What do you mean?
She happy. What's the problem? He happy. They live a happy ever after. What's the problem?
No, that's if they live. No, that's what the goal is. But then you get in there, you live together for about a month. You realize people feet stink. People nasty. People got some shady ways. They credit messed up. You didn't know their credit messed up. You didn't know that they got a criminal history. You didn't know that they got kids that they didn't tell you about. All kind of stuff you find out.
Yeah,
you just rushed into it. Now I know I've seen this.
It be happening.
Didn't know. You didn't realize he drank. You didn't realize he had put hands on you. All this different stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. When you rush into something like that, and you don't, and because somebody just, what I originally was talking about is if I was just solely looking for a wife, I can go find a wife, somebody who will marry me, and say to do the right things. That's all I don't understand.
Saying. What are you looking for then? What would you be looking for?
You saying what? How would I find this wife?
I'm saying, what would you said if I was solely trying to find a wife? Like what outside of that would you be looking for?
Well, I ain't never did it before, but I guess I would just be going out and just looking for somebody who like me. I'll find somebody who like me and be like, hey, what's going on? And just tell everything she want to hear.
So that's your definition of somebody trying to find a wife?
No, I said if I was solely just trying to find a wife and not find somebody that was my soulmate, find somebody that's compatible with me, all that sort of thing.
Man, you diminishing what a wife is then.
Huh?
You diminishing the word wife. You're diminishing it. You're saying that a person's sole purpose is to try to find a wife.
Yeah. I'm not diminishing it. These people are. Because these people are just looking for somebody to marry. They're just looking for a wife. I'm looking for a soulmate. I'm looking for somebody. If I marry somebody, it's gonna be I'm not trying to get married 11 times. Okay, so my point is, it's gonna be somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. So I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna put in that work. If it's somebody I like, I'm gonna put in that work. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm just solely looking for a wife and just go out there and just find somebody whoever will marry me. That's not the way to do it.
Not at all. But the mindset and the intention got to be there of hey, I want to go find a wife. Like that, the intention of the mindset has to be there.
And some people have that. But I'm saying is, I don't think that that's what she was doing. Just going to be like, oh, I'm going to just go out there and find me another husband. And if that's the case, then yeah, I think she was looking for people that was compatible. She was looking for people that was this, that, and the other. And she realized that, hey, it's hard out here.
It's hard.
I totally agree with you with that. It's hard out here, but it's hard out here for a lot of people.
But it's based off of, and it goes back to what you're saying. It goes based off of the criteria of what she was wanting, though. Like that checklist that you're talking about. Like he had no checklist, or she had a checklist. And guys wasn't, huh?
You heard her say that?
Yeah, she was talking about one of the dates, and she was like, "Oh man, he had gold teeth. That was a no." And he was.
I saw that. I saw that interview. Yeah. That was a lot of stuff, though. He had a lot of stuff that was, that I could
But
see
that's
her
what
not
I'm
wanting.
saying, though. I'm saying there's still a criteria that you saying a person is checking off boxes of what they want. So whatever she was wanting, she wasn't getting or wasn't approaching her. Whatever those criteria was, they wasn't approaching her.
I don't know. That was one interview I heard. I can't say what was. I don't know what was approaching her. I don't know.
She didn't get it.
Well,
we do know because she said the pool is dry, ain't nothing out here. And these are the words she said.
I agree.
She said this.
Is dry.
She said it ain't nothing out here. She said ain't nothing out here, man.
Okay,
ain't nothing out here.
Some people can deal with a dry pool, and some people can't. She's not one of them. So she went back to her husband. That's what I originally said. That she's just not one of them people that some people can deal with a dry pool.
She is lucky she had the option. No, she's lucky she had the option to go back. She's blessed to have the option to go back. I have exes that still, I got exes still trying to get back with me.
They was probably messing around.
You ain't got the option to come back.
They was probably messing around the whole time.
Probably.
We don't know that.
That's true.
He could have been that could have been his the whole time.
Very true.
And it could have been very easily for them to just be like, I mean, you're already here.
Nah, it wasn't no prank. Nah, it wasn't no prank.
I know it was a divorce. I know it was a real divorce.
Yeah.
But he was still seeing her.
Now he looked sad though.
Yeah.
He did.
No, he looked sad with her.
Oh, come on, Patrick.
I swear, I'm gonna tell you.
Now, you don't want her either?
No, I don't listen. I think he would stay with her for the kids. But listen, I looked at the video. If y'all go look, and this is a conversation literally I had with our teacher. They were on the black marriage video documentary thing when they had all these different black couples and stuff, and they was talking, and they was talking about marriage and stuff like that. It was a really, really cool thing that this couple had put together, and we were watching all the different.
A couple months later.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so I'm looking. I said, man, he looked miserable. I said, this brother he looked miserable being with this woman. It's like they put like he looked like he couldn't fake the funk on the camera. Like you could tell he was just I'm done with this.
Okay, but let me ask you this question then. Why did
he like the old grandpa? I'm here for the kids. That's what he looked like.
Why did he go back then? Why did he go back then?
I think he wanted to stay for the kid.
That was my.
But I think he a fool.
How old are they kids?
I think they're almost like 12, 13 now.
12 and 6 or 7,
yeah.
something like that.
I don't know.
But he looked like one of them dudes that'll make sure he a sacrifice. He look like a sacrifice brother. Yeah, he look like one of them sacrificing brothers. He gonna take it. Yeah, he like one of them. He gone.
I don't know. He not my type. I don't know.
Yeah, he like one of them sacrificing brothers. He just gonna try to make it do what it do. He gonna look like the good guy at the end. You know what I mean? His legacy. He was the good granddaddy that went back, took his wife back, all that.
One good thing is they're gonna make they'll get on an interview and talk about it. That's for sure. Eventually.
Yeah. Tia gonna make sure that happen. She gonna make sure that happen. It's gonna be a whole storyline, everything.
But all of a sudden, a lot of reasons
when they turn 18,
there's a lot of reasons why a relationship may or may not have worked. There's hundreds of them.
Yeah, it all. Most of that, they if you ain't got two people that's willing to compromise and work on things, somebody gonna say, "Yo, I ain't willing to do this no more," and then it's a wrap. That's all it takes. You gotta have two people that's gonna be willing to go through the ups and downs and the peaks and the valleys And if you ain't ready to go through those rides, because there ain't gonna be no perfect person. No person is gonna be perfect.
Right. So who knows? Who knows why they really broke up, and who knows why they really got back together? Who knows how many dry ponds that they dealt with while they was out there?
His ponds wasn't dry at all. He was swimming, I'm sure.
So I'm saying he could have been out there hitting everything moved, and still went back.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, why not? I mean, obviously he did. He went back, but I mean, we don't know what he was out there doing. He could.
Yeah, I was saying, but do we know that he was, you know, okay with being out there like that?
Well, I don't think she was. I don't think she was okay. Well, obviously because he didn't have to go back. So for some reason he did.
But I think, listen, I had a moment in time, you know what I mean? And it was because you can miss being in the home, you know, with the kids and, you know, the whole thing, you know, getting up, going, taking them to school from that, you know. I had a moment when I was truly missing that, you know what I mean? Like it was a miss of mine. I had me and Monty talked about it a long time ago when I think I was going through some depression. And I didn't know I was going through depression during that time in that season. And man, you will miss that. You will miss that. And I was like, man, you know, even through all the mess, you know, it was I couldn't believe that my mind would allow me to even think that I would have the opportunity to go back. But the missing of that probably was putting me in certain feelings and situations that was causing me to feel that way. But no, we'll never go back. We'll never go back. But understanding those peaks and valleys of those feelings, like, man, you being able to be in that same household, having that and enjoying that, and that being a part of your happy place, right? Like if that's something that you truly enjoy as a parent and you're missing that, and it's almost just snatched from you out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Y'all no longer together, and boom, you know, you no longer have that. And then now you become the weekend, and you know, get to see him after school, and you know that morning part was a big part for me. And so for that to be just snatched away, man, like it can play on your emotions a little bit, on some of your decision making.
Yeah, those routines, because you set the routine, so it breaks your heart. It does. Yeah. I'm sorry you went through that, Patrick.
Oh, you know, yeah, but you know, everything has its reason and its season that God had put some stuff in place to make. Yeah. And I know for a fact, you know, even when I look at my life now, they just have to end up aligning itself the way that it ended up needing to be. Sometimes you look at things and be like, man, why did stuff happen a certain way? And you wish that it could be different. But ultimately, you know, you dealt the card that you dealt, and you know, you kind of try to figure out life. And you know, definitely a great, definitely was a down season for me, and then now being able to be in such a wonderful season now, and being able to be where I am now is definitely phenomenal. But of course, like just like everybody knows, you know, and that's nothing to ever sugarcoat. And I'll say this, we'll have these conversations time and time again. It's always great to have both parents in the household. Like there's no better situation for a child in the family. And so knowing that even as we have these continued conversations, which is always touchy, of the betterment of the kids and the sanctity of the union, those two things become a catch-22, because you know, just by statistics and stuff, it's just always better for both kids to be in the same house. So when they juggling from house to house, it's not the best thing for the child. But then also sometimes it's not best for the child to be in a toxic environment, right?
Right.
So it's like that. that conundrum is always something that our communities will continue to talk about for sure. And with Tia and their situation, it seems as though I know that was something in that documentary that was extremely important for him, which, the family, the kids, and, all of that. And then we would talk about, granddaddies and, what people used to do back in the day of sacrificing to stay together and stuff like that. So we don't know if that was the betterment or was that not as good if it was a toxic situation. So yeah, it's always an interesting conversation to have, for sure. Always an interesting conversation to have. Now we're gonna end this conversation on one of the Pop Balloon episodes that was had, and it was always interesting to see how they would have these conversations, and this conversation didn't go as many would have liked. Check this portion out, and we'll just play this first part.
Cool. Right. So is she someone that's your type?
Not really, to be honest.
Okay, and why not?
The face is a bit wrinkly for me.
All right, thank you. Let's go over here.
Oh my God. She said the face a bit wrinkly. Now, yeah. Now the brother, let me say that. Now the brother, he wasn't, come on now. Yeah, he ain't have to say it like that.
No.
Yeah, he could have let her down a little light. I wouldn't have, on the show and stuff like that, you got millions of people watching the show. It's a very popular show. He ain't have to put it down like that, man.
Right, and if you would have let it play a little bit further, you would have saw that the person who popped their balloon immediately, if you heard there was a boom, the pop as soon as he said that. They asked that woman, why did she pop her balloon? And she said it was specifically because he said that.
Let's hear it say. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Let's go over here. Let's get your name and age.
Hi, my name's Hadra. I'm 25 years old.
Okay. Hadra, what do you do?
I'm a nail technician.
Okay, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Nail tech.
I know that we're honest on this show, but I do feel like there's a little bit of grace, or maybe just like some way where you can say things without being maybe incredibly specific about physical features. I mean, if you're comfortable with that, then that's definitely okay, but I just wouldn't prefer that in a man myself. I always feel like in a society where maybe like things are normal, like this show, like saying things about somebody's physical feature, I think other people might feel comfortable. If you prioritize kindness, then that's still always going to come first, and that's a first for me. So, but you are super handsome. I love your fit. I love the neutrals. I literally stayed up until that moment too. I think you're super cool and great, but it was just that comment. I just can't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wow.
Okay. No, she's someone that's your type.
Yeah, I mean, she looks cool. Are you East African?
Yeah, I'm Sudanese actually. What are you?
Black.
You guys all know. That's crazy. No, that's great.
It's like a very distinct facial feature, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I do want to add, though, I feel like it's probably good that you did pop, because I feel like for me, I'm very forward, direct.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be a bit too sincere, sometimes too honest. But
Too late, guys.
Not gonna lie, I'm a super honest person too, and I think there's a big difference between honesty and comments like that. I think you could be honest without pinpointing maybe physical features about people, especially women, but I mean,
hey,
yeah,
I mean, this is
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the sentiment that Mati was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so he missed out on this one here because of that statement, but I agree. I mean, a lot of times people go on these shows and they kind of go back and forth, and that's kind of what, makes this show popular. I mean, it's not the type of show that people just go on in, everybody is courteous and everybody is low key and that sort of thing. But at the same time, he didn't have to say that. You know, I wouldn't have
Nah.
said it.
Yeah.
No, not like that. You know, this person came on there. I mean, I don't know. They put themselves together. They look like their hair looks good. I don't know. I can't really see the clothes. Look like the clothes. They spent some time to put themselves together. So it's not like this is just some person that came on there and didn't even try. You know, right? So you know, give them, you got to. But my point is, you got to give somebody some credit for just trying to come on there. They got
Hey
they get some
man,
points.
listen, man. Sometimes you're a little wrinkly. It's okay. It's okay if you're a little wrinkly.
Yeah,
A little
and
wrinkly.
this person knew what they looked like before they came on the show.
Yeah, she knew she was wrinkled a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, she don't want him pointing it out. She don't want them pointing it out like a flaw.
Yeah, she need a little iron to the skin, a little iron to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You could probably get that stretched out a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, put a little steam to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably there's probably some doctors probably reaching out to her once they saw this, you know? People
Yeah, she
do that
probably
type
need
of
a little
stuff
help.
for publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needed a little help, but you know, everybody, he ain't have to put her on blast like that.
Right.
But you know, they be setting up them questions too, man. Cause it'd be like, yo, you know, oh yeah, you know, she just ain't my type. Well, why she ain't your type? And they're like, hey, just leave it at she ain't my type. Like I didn't let her down. Now you want me to go into detail. You want detail from me.
Well, I mean, they asked everybody that though. So it's not like it was set up specifically for her. They asked
But you asking me for her, like for her specifically. And if I'm gonna give you an honest answer, the honest answer is that she got wrinkly skin.
The host should have backed down.
Well, yeah, the host he said she ain't my type. Well, why you don't like? Well, she just not my type. Well, what makes her not your type? Well, the thing that don't make her my type is that her skin is wrinkly.
Yeah. I mean, it right there in the moment, that might have been tough to answer that question because you're sitting there, you're looking at the person, and they're grilling you, and it's like, what?
And I'm looking at wrinkled skin. Like, what am I supposed to do?
It's kind of hard to come up with something else. You could have said their height. You could have made up something that's just totally off. I mean, I'm a little bit quicker. I'm quicker on my feet than he is. We don't know
probably.
You know, and he said himself that I can be, a little bit brutally honest. But like she said, being honest and being a jerk are two different things.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people try to merge those two together. Like they really a-holes, and then they be like, oh, I'm just a strong woman. You can't deal with a strong woman, but you really a jerk. Or same thing. I'm sure guys do the same thing. You know what I mean? Try to say that, oh, I'm just keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Right. I'm just keeping it 100 and just doing and saying a bunch of crazy, mean stuff, but disguise it under keeping it 100.
Now,
that's a lot that goes on.
Now, is he keeping it? Now, because he also stated, like, we're not in a regular dating situation. If he saw that she had wrinkly skin, then I wouldn't have just approached her, right? Like, I'm just not approaching you. I'm not walking up to you saying, hey, you got wrinkly skin, because that's why I ain't approaching you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're in a dating situation, so they're just asking honesty or, honest opinion. You have people on there saying that a guy, he too big, or, you want somebody a bit more in shape. They'll say things like that. And so
there's people that's been on there that have said things that are way worse than that, though.
Oh yeah.
So the problem with this is the reason why this particular clip everyone's talking about it probably is because she does look how she look, right?
He wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. That's the problem. Right. He wasn't lying.
Right. Because there's a lot of clips on there where people are saying a lot of different things on there about people and everybody just laughing. And then you go to the comments, there'll be quite a few. These clips get quite a bit of engagement as far as comments and stuff like that. That's why a lot of people sharing her stuff. And I'm hoping that she's, I'm pretty sure she probably got her stuff together where she's getting a piece of all those people that's sharing her stuff. Because a lot of people sharing them and doing reaction videos and stuff on her. But most of the time, for, you know, the reactions are for something like that. Somebody's the reason why I don't like this person, and two people going at each other. You know, the other day I saw one where a woman just said, "Oh, he's too flashy." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the guy had on all this stuff, and he looked really flashy. And then another one where a woman said one guy was too flashy, and then she said she would date another dude that had like a big old huge chain on. He said it was $1 million chain, something like that. He
Oh
said
yeah,
his
I saw
watch.
that.
No,
I
he
saw
said his
that.
watch was $1 million, $1.1 million, and he said his chain was like 400,000, and he said something else. Earrings was something 70,000, and he basically cut her because he said, "Well, if you think that dude is flashy, how you gonna come over here and date me?" He was like, "You being a hypocrite, because I'm the
Yep.
epitome of flashy." So he was like
Right.
really cocky and was like, "Oh, I'm the flashiest person on here. How you gonna cut him? And I'm flashy to him. I got a 1.1 million dollar watch." So it's a lot of comments on there that are meant to insult people, that really do insult people, and there's other versions of the show. Like there's a way hoodier versions of this show too.
Oh yeah.
They
Oh yeah.
really get, yeah, they really get
They
maybe
get they
on
get
numbers.
crazy.
Right. So yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
don't even watch those. I like there's a little bit more classy, and I think they're really trying to link people up. Like they have people that have gotten married. They
oh
have people
really?
that are like in serious relationships. Yeah, like they're really. I could tell like they're really wanting people to like to really connect. Like they'll get upset when people come on there and they're like kind of just on there for like trying to get clout and stuff.
Wow,
Like
yeah.
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 Like so they kind of cause they whatever they be saying in the background, like their back interview process of like, hey, you know, and they kind of get upset when they be like, hey, you know, you live here and you live, you know, somebody lives somewhere. Oh, I'm not okay with long distance. They're like, when you come on the show, you have to be okay with long distance. Then you come on the show and act like you ain't okay with long distance.
Right. You
Like
flew
that's
to that. So they take that in Arizona somewhere, right?
yeah, they tape it in Arizona.
Yeah, you flew from New York. It'd be people from way on the East Coast.
Yeah, it'd be people from everywhere. So it's like, you know, watching the show that everybody comes from everywhere. So you have to, you coming on the show, you should automatically know that you're not gonna find somebody from where you from. Like, that's a slim chance that somebody you from New York or somebody else from New York. Somebody gonna be from Florida, Atlanta, you know, Cali. You know, it's gonna be people from all over the place. So, you know, when people come on there and be like, you know, oh, that's too far. Like, what do you mean? Like,
it really wasn't looking for it really wasn't looking for a relationship. Or I mean, but the thing is, another thing you could do, you could say yeah and walk off the screen and tell them in the back room. I mean, you could tell them in the back room that you know, I'm good, homie. I was just on here for the show. And you just pulled, maybe they was really on there looking for somebody and you just pulled them up out of there.
You just on there
out
playing.
of the lineup, yeah.
Just playing. That's how I be though, man. That's how I be majority of the time when folks be doing stuff like that. But you know, it's a good show. It's definitely a good show. It's definitely a good show for people to watch when they come on. So it's a fun show. I've watched a few of them or a bunch of them. Actually,
My mother watches it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom.
It's a good show. That's what I said. They made it to where
I don't watch it. I've never seen an episode.
I've watched the full one just when I was at my mom, but normally I catch a lot of these little clips.
Right, me too.
Yeah, I catch a lot of clips too.
Yeah, but at my mom's house, I've watched when my daughters were down in town. We watched some, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll go in there and I'll be like, man, some of these lineups be stupid. And then some of them be like, it'd be like, man, if they would have had this lineup of guys with this lineup of ladies, that would have been some good matches. Right. And then be like, man, it'd be, you know, it'd be like hit and miss like that sometimes. Cause you be have some bogus dudes on there that just be on some weird stuff. And then, you know, you have some solid ladies that's really looking, and then you got all these bogus dudes. Right. And then you'll have a bunch of bogus women on there like that just on that plan, or they ditzy, like their whole thought process be somewhere else. And then you got all these great guys coming on there, and then they ain't gonna be able to find no good match. So
yeah. And
but it'd be cool.
Some people go on shows like that knowing that I'm clowning as soon as a chance I get.
Yep.
They go in there knowing that's what
that.
Yeah. So
yeah. You know, that's one of my fears, popping balloons. I could never be on the show because I can't pop the balloon. I'm afraid. I'm like, balloon pops and escalators. Two things I hate. Isn't that
you just gonna be on there and just whoever the first person is, you got to match with.
I have to. I would be like, it takes me all day to pop the balloon because I'm like, you know, I think it's PTSD from growing up in Chicago. Just the noise, the boom. You know, I don't know. Could be.
That could be.
Right? The sound and everything. I would be screaming like, anyway. What were you saying, Monty?
Nothing.
Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in for another great conversation in episode, man. Tell the folks how they can get a hold to you.
Monty C. Wilson. I'm on Instagram and Facebook under Monty C. Wilson, and I'm also on Facebook under 64 Soul.
T. Franklin, if you want to connect with me, it's t.franklin@yahoo.com.
And of course, he's your man, Patrick the Game Changer Jackson. I am Patrick Jackson Jr. on all of the platforms. You can catch me at PJ Game Changer on Instagram. And of course, follow all of the Game Changer show on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Make sure that you go and subscribe as well. We appreciate y'all tuning in one more time. And of course, as long as y'all getting in those comments and making sure that you are a part of the conversation, make sure you go ahead and make sure that you're going to get a part of the next tickets that will be given out for the comedy show that is happening March the 15th. It's going to go down. And so we appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode. We out.